from Brooklyn, football with the fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Here with another of my draft crushes. This time, actually, two of them. I'm going to talk about two players, one of whom you've heard me and Mazo talk about quite a bit, Mr. Nick Emmanwori, safety out of South Carolina. And the other is an inside linebacker named Jihad Campbell. You've probably heard us mention him once or twice as well, inside linebacker from Alabama. I think they're going to be really, really good players in this league. I think they're both going to go in the first round, probably somewhere between, I don't know, 15 and 25, maybe even higher. But certainly by the end of the first round, they'll be gone. So I don't think either of them is worthy of the third overall pick. So I don't think we're going to take them there. But I do think that if we happen to trade down, especially if we trade down twice and just add like a lot of draft capital, and we're picking somewhere in the teens, that these would be people we would strongly consider because we really could use some help at inside linebacker. And Nick Emmanwori, even though we just made some pretty key moves to strengthen and bolster our defensive backfield, Nick Emmanwori is a chess piece. He can play free safety, center field, single high. He can play strong safety down in the box. He can play linebacker. I mean, he actually was recruited to play linebacker at South Carolina, but convinced them to keep him at safety because he's so fast, he's so athletic. Let's take a look at a little bit of what these young men showed us at the combine. We'll start with Nick Emmanwori's measurables. He's 6'3", 220. He has 32.5-inch arms and 9-inch hands. That's actually fairly short for arms and small for hands for a man his size, but I don't care about that. His grade, they gave him a 6.41, will become a good starter within 2 years. I think he'll become a good starter within 2 games. I think he's just going to be hitting the ground running. But his athleticism score is 91. This is why. He ran a 4.3840, which is insane. That's extremely fast for a safety, excuse me. But for anybody 6'3", 220. By comparison, Saquon Barkley, who I don't remember having any trouble breaking away with his speed, ran a 4.40. So this is a faster 40 than Saquon's. His 10-yard split is 1.49. That's also extremely fast. The explosive numbers, the vertical leap, 43 inches. That's NBA slam dunk contest type vertical leap. And his broad jump, 11 feet, 6 inches. That just shows you the explosiveness and the athleticism overall. He even did 20 bench reps. In fact, I've heard and read that he did even more than that last year. But he has taken off some weight this year to get ready for the combine so he could jump as high and run as fast as he did. So that maybe he lost a little bit of strength when he did that. But 20 bench reps is nothing to be ashamed of. That's a very solid number for safety in particular, for anybody. There's a lot of offensive linemen who don't do very many more than that. So Nick Emmanwori is a baller. Like I said, I know we just made some serious moves to bolster our defensive backfield. So you might think, why do we need another safety? But you can never have enough great players. Listen, the Giants had one of the best linebacking crews in football when Lawrence Taylor was a senior in college, and they still drafted him. And he immediately was the best linebacker on the team. So, you can't just not take a great player. I mean, I'm not comparing Nick Emmanwori to Lawrence Taylor. Please don't come at me with that. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that just because you're strong at a position group doesn't necessarily mean you don't take someone who's elite. And I think this young man's going to be elite. Again, I'm not saying we should take him third overall, but I'm saying if he's still there, certainly if he's still there at 34 in the second round, we should run to the podium to get him. And the other man that I'm looking at right now, this young man, Jihad Campbell, beast, inside linebacker, 6'3", 235, also 32.5-inch arms, but 10.5-inch hands. You see he's got much bigger hands. His grade they gave him was a 6.34, will eventually be a plus starter. I think he's going to be better than that. He's a tackling machine, and pretty athletic as well. 4.5, 240, which is very good, sideline to sideline, inside linebacker type speed, and a 1.53 10-yard split, which is also very important. He did the broad jump, 10 feet, 7 inches. That's extremely good for, a man of that kind of size and stature and bulk. He didn't do a lot of the other test measurables as far as testing. That's fine. Maybe he'll do some more at the pro day, but in any event, the tape speaks for itself. He is an incredibly good inside linebacker, both against the run and the pass, but especially against the run. And although we are fairly well situated at inside linebacker, I mean, Bobby Okereke, I think, is very good. He's not great, but he's very good. And Micah McFadden He's a little inconsistent for my liking. He misses a lot of tackles, relatively speaking, for a very good inside linebacker. He's in position a lot. He's very good at kind of sniffing out the play and getting to the right spot, but then he misses the tackle, 15 to 20% of the time, and that's just not okay for me. And he comes off the field on third downs, on passing downs, because he's really not that good in coverage. In fact, he's a bit of a liability in coverage. So if we could get better at that position, I think we should. And I think Jihad Campbell is better and will be better. I think having Micah McFadden as that depth inside linebacker in case either Okereke or Campbell goes down with injury or just needs a breather from time to time, or if you just want to throw three linebackers out there from time to time, three inside linebackers, sure. Short yard situations, that kind of thing. He is a strong tackler when he doesn't miss the tackles. He gets, like I said, into position to make good plays. Just doesn't make quite enough of them for my liking. I think Jihad Campbell would make a lot more of them. So if somehow we were able to add a Jihad Campbell, I think we would immediately be better. And I think the teams, certainly pundits, but I think teams in general underestimate the value of good inside linebacker. I just, you look at how much they make relative to other positions, and they don't seem to be quite as valued. Kind of like the running back of defense, like, oh yeah, inside linebacker, anybody can play that. No, anybody can't play that. And we need somebody who's a little bit more athletic, can cover tight ends, can cover running backs out of the backfield, will make the tackle more consistently when he gets to the ball, has that sideline to sideline speed. And I think Jihad Campbell's that guy. And I think in passing downs in particular, I think Nick Emmanwori would be that guy. I think what Nick Emmanwori really is kind of like an Isaiah Simmons, but a better football player. Right? He's that same type of athlete, but he's actually a better football player than Isaiah Simmons, who, for whatever reason, fell out of favor this year, didn't get that many snaps this year. He was supposed to be the guy that comes onto the field when Micah McFadden comes off the field on third downs or on passing downs, but he didn't even do that very often this year. But I think Nick Emmanwori would. So anyway, those are my two draft crushes for today. Nick Emmanwori, South Carolina safety / hybrid linebacker, and Jihad Campbell, Alabama inside linebacker. So what do you guys think? Let me know what you think about the two of them. Let me know if there's anybody else you want us to do a Draft Crush episode on. We are happy to do that. Drop us a share, a like, subscribe, and a comment. As always, Clay from Brooklyn, Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue, and I'm out.
Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out elmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.